What exactly is a Voiceover CRM, and do you need one? Hey now, and welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about a game changer if you're trying to grow your voiceover business, and that is using a CRM. Now, a CRM that stands for Customer Relationship Manager, and it's really just a piece of software that you can use to track all of your clients or potential clients and leads, just so you stay organized and not forget to follow up with people. Instead of juggling Post-it notes and spreadsheets and, writing on the back of your hand and stuff like that to try to remember to follow up with people, this software will help you track all that. It'll tell you, who you've talked to, what you said, and then how to follow up. And in VoiceOver, relationships are everything. And if you don't have the right tools to keep you on top of that, you could risk, losing business. Here's why that matters for voice actors. Once again, relationships are everything, and you may just have just a few clients. Maybe you're just getting started and you don't really need a CRM. Well, in my opinion, that's exactly why you do need one, because you can actually start from the very beginning, not having to try to keep track of people from the start. For instance, when I first started, I was using an Excel spreadsheet, and over time, as much marketing that I was doing, I was quickly becoming overwhelming. And I needed something to kind of keep everything in one place, and more importantly, help me follow up and remind me to follow up with people at a certain time. It's like having a digital assistant that remembers every interaction that you've had with a potential client. It allows you to track that and remind you to follow up with people, and you can even categorize all the different contacts that you've got and track your bookings and all kinds of stuff that you really just can't do with a spreadsheet. Now, there's lots of CRMs out there, and I've tried a lot of them. Some are way overcomplicated and some are way too simple. Now, the one that I use is called Close, and the reason why I use it is because it has everything I need and not a lot of stuff that I don't. It was actually created for the real estate market. It just so happens it works really well for what we as voice actors do. One of the things that I like about Close is that it allows you to track emails that you've sent and actually see if people have clicked and opened them and what they've clicked on in the email. So for instance, all my marketing emails have a link to my website. And so I want to see, number one, that they've opened the email, and number two, if they've clicked on my website link. That way I know that the content that I'm sending out is enough to spark their, interest. Close is very kind of hands-off, so I'm not constantly having to go in and check it. What I do is every morning I come in and I check my agenda. My agenda tells me who I need to follow up with that day based on the criteria that I've set. It tells me anybody who has opened my emails and what they've clicked on. So it kind of gives me a to-do list when I first get into the booth so that I can get in, get that stuff done, and then get back to work. Another CRM that I've heard that other voice actors use is one called HubSpot. Now, the best thing about this one is that it's free. I know I've personally never used it, but a lot of people in the voice industry actually use HubSpot. It's a little more kind of corporate feeling from what I have gathered, but if it doesn't matter to you, then go for it. HubSpot does allow you to, track your clients and send reminders to yourself and categorize all your clients, whether it's a lead or a prospect or an actual booked client. It will also give you the option to set reminders and, a task list, a to-do list. So if you want to get a good free option, then maybe HubSpot is a good starting point. Zoho is another option that is a CRM, but it also does a lot more than that. If you need an option that's kind of a Swiss Army knife for all kinds of different things in your business, whether it's CRM capabilities or tracking income and expenses. It has a suite of products that you can kind of pick and choose, and they all integrate with each other. This is actually something that my wife uses for her business, and she likes it a lot. I just have other tools for some of the business aspects of, doing things like invoicing and tracking expenses and income, but she uses it for all of that. Next up is Nimble. And this is another one that a lot of people in the voice industry use because it's very social friendly, meaning that it will connect automatically to a client or a prospect's social platforms automatically when you enter them into the system. So it takes that whole part out of it. That's something that also that Close does as well. But it's a little more expensive than Zoho, but it is a good pick. And as I said, a lot of people in the voiceover industry use Nimble because it is such a robust CRM option. Now, all of these options, and then all the other ones as well, they usually will sync with your existing email. So you can actually use the CRM as your inbox. So I can just leave Close up all the time and just use it as my regular email client and not have to worry about having to check a separate email for my business email. You can literally work out of Close and most of these others as your day-to-day inbox. And the best part about that is if an email comes in, all you have to do is click a button to add that person to your contacts list. No copying and pasting and moving things around. As soon as the email hits your inbox, you can just add them as a prospect or a client or follow up directly, and it will really help you kind of streamline your contact workflow. Another great thing about CRMs is it allows you to send out email blasts that sound and look more personalized. So for instance, in Close, it's called Mail Merge. So let's say I'm going to be out of the studio for vacation. I can send a single email to all my contacts with one click that still calls them each individually by name. And so it feels like a more personalized email, even though I'm sending out to hundreds of people at one time. Another great thing about a CRM is that if you have an assistant like I do, I've given her access to my CRM. And I've created a bunch of email templates depending on who she's going to reach out to. And she can log into my CRM and she can send those emails out as me. And then when that person replies back, if they reply back, hopefully they reply back, I will take over the conversation from there myself. So she can kind of impersonate me and send out using all these templates. And then I take it from there once they actually start to have some interest.
And now for something completely different.
Black Friday is almost here, guys, and we here at the VoiceOver Blueprint are doing something pretty special, something we've never done before. So if you want to be the first to find out about what this insane deal is for Black Friday, there's a link in the description and pinned comment below where you can sign up and be on the waiting list to be the first ones to find out when this thing drops. So if you're serious about your voiceover career, you do not want to miss this. So more details coming soon.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, here's a few warnings when it comes to CRMs. The first is don't overcomplicate things. I mean, a lot of these CRMs will do a whole bunch, and you can get really in the weeds on stuff that they do that you really don't need. So there are a lot of CRMs out there like, Salesforce and some of these ones that are really built for large organizations. You don't need to go that route. Plus, those are very expensive. Just find something like the ones I mentioned earlier that is basic enough that you can get in, figure out what you need to figure out, and then get back to your day. The next warning is don't let it just go unused. Get your money's worth. Use this thing from day one. And the reason why I like to advise people to start with a CRM very early in their career is that if you're like me and I started with a spreadsheet, after a while, because it got so overwhelming, it was a real big process to move that information over into a CRM when I decided to go for one. So if you start from scratch, you can just enter them as they go, and you don't have to worry about trying to move over some big giant list. The last warning I'll mention, because of these capabilities that these CRMs have, these capabilities of being able to send out large amounts of email in one blast, don't use that for your actual marketing emails, that option. Send your emails out one at a time, and it's quality over quantity. But after a while, you will start to get into a rhythm where you can send out a pretty good amount, but still have them personalized. The only time I actually send out a bulk email is, like I mentioned earlier, if I'm sending out kind of an out-of-the-office email or something like that. But my day-to-day marketing is done one at a time. still using Close as my CRM, but I'm able to customize each email to tailor it to who I'm reaching out to. So if you're not using a CRM yet, then I advise you to do so. And the reason why is that if you're new to this, it'll help you stay organized from the very beginning. And if you're not new to this, it'll help get you organized. And you won't worry about missing these opportunities for follow-ups or missed emails that come in. And it'll really help you not only stay organized, but help to grow your business. And if you want a step-by-step plan on starting and growing your voiceover business, check out my Voiceover Blueprint training program. It is not just a training program, but it's also a very supportive community where we teach you everything from marketing to performance to technology, building your booth, everything you need to know to start and grow your voiceover business. If you want to find out more about that, there's a link in the description and pinned comment below where you can book a free call and find out more. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. And if you did like this content, feel free to hit the like and subscribe and notification bell and leave a comment and let me know if you already use a CRM and maybe if you use one that I didn't mention today. And since we're talking about software and the right software to use, if you need some more information on how to pick the right DAW or digital audio workspace, then you may want to check out this video located right here.